Welcome back to the ETF Inspector. It's Thursday, July 17th, about 5:40 in the afternoon, and this will be the video where we cover the Roundhill 0DTE funds, QDTE for the NASDAQ 100, XDTE for the S&P 500, and RDTE for the Russell 2000. Reminder, if you didn't already know, I'm on X at ETF_Inspector1. I was a little bit late today, but usually right after the trades post, I post each one's trades here in case you're interested in trading along with them, or if you just want to see how the traders are doing with your money within the fund. Then I make a video in the afternoon or evening, whatever you want to call this, where we go over and see how it went out. Only update here, I've been asked a couple times if I have a buy me a coffee page, so I created one today. If that's the kind of thing you're into, not asking for it, just it's there if you'd like. Okay, so let's take a look. We start off, right? All three funds were in the green. All three indexes that they cover were in the green. NASDAQ was up 0.76, where QDTE was up 0.42. S&P was up 0.54%, where XDTE was up 0.36, and the Russell 2000 was up 1.2%, where the RDTE was up 0.96. So the indexes in all cases beat the funds covering them. So let's take a look at how things went, and we'll circle back to that in just a second. But so the trades, all right, first we'll start off with QDTE. This one hurt a lot. So they sold a call for $22,990. The NASDAQ 100 closed at $23,081.05. That's a difference of $91.05. So they collected $17.69 per share, 100 shares per contract, 348 contracts, or a total of $615,000. But these are cash settled, so they don't do assignments. They had to pay $91.05 per share, or $3.1 million. So the overall profit or loss on the day was $2.5 million, taking us completely into the negative for the week, because we've only got about $1.5 million there and another negative on Monday. So QDTE is not making money this week. They are not likely to make $1 million plus tomorrow just to break even. So this is going to be a negative week for QDTE. But there's a reason the fund still went up anyway, and that's because they have all these long calls. So although they sold a call that cost them a lot of money to close out, these are all going to still increase. They did increase already. It doesn't show it. We'll download the holdings in the morning. But I just want to also show you, right? So when you go in and you download the intraday trades, this is what it looks like. So that's not really great to look at. That's why I copy and paste them into an Excel spreadsheet. All right. Another thing I wanted to look at was, so we can switch this from percentage to amount. So QDTE went up 15 cents. So if you're familiar with the way dividend X day works, today the funds all started lower than they closed yesterday by the amount of the distribution. So in this case, just to be, 23 to 24 cents lower is what it started, and then it made up 15 of those 23 to 24 cents already within the same day. So you're getting the dividend, and you got almost all of it right back in your share price as well. And we'll look at how each one did. All right, payday is tomorrow, so tomorrow you'll get that money deposited in your fund. Other than that, it's a $793 million assets under management. We'll see how that changed with the loss in trading versus the increase in value tomorrow with the updates. No change in outstanding shares, still a little over 22.5 million. So the NAV is always going to be off from the actual share price because that is all based off of the holdings before the market opens. There's no way to get that timing all right unless I was going to make these videos tomorrow morning. So I prefer to get you the information sooner. All right, next up, XDTE. They sold a 62.80 call. S&P closed at 62.9736. That's $17.36 above the call strike. So they collected $4.88 per share. They had to pay $17.36 per share. That's a difference. That's 1.1 million is the $17, and it's a difference of $804,000. So that's what they lost. So they have now gone into the negative for the week. You're looking at 600-ish thousand to the positive and 800,000 negative. So at best, they're going to do a little over breaking even tomorrow. So it's going to be a rough week for these. Okay, XDTE. So they're going to be paying out roughly 25.5 cents. And where are they? They went up 16 cents. So they made up 16 out of that 26 cents within the same day. Not bad. 404 million assets under management. Another one, no change in outstanding shares, a little over 9.2 million. And no changes in the holdings. The last one, RDTE, sold at 22.50. The Russell 2000 closed at 22.5368, so it was 368 above the strike price. They collected 373. They had to pay out 368, so they actually still made a profit of $3,105. They are just barely to the positive this week after their Monday loss, Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. So they're in the positive, but just barely. Definitely not making enough to pay out a nice distribution, but they must have other plans because they still pay out either way. Now here's what I wanted to point out different about these guys. Well, let me finish. 137 million assets under management, no change in outstanding shares, 4,050,000. So they somehow sold 7 contracts at this 210.50. If you go back and look at yesterday's video, there was 282 contracts, and then this morning there's 275. I rechecked, I re-downloaded intraday trades. I'm not sure. I guess they don't put these trades information out there because I wasn't able to find it anywhere. So the assumption is they liquidated that to be able to pay out the distribution after not making enough to pay that out. But so that's obviously not ideal because if you keep on taking away from your assets that are being used to make the money, you eventually run out unless more people buy in. But then that's not the kind of way you want to be making money anyway. So I'll have to at some point get a hold of somebody, ask a question. Hey, how come this isn't showing up on our trades page? So the other two have stayed the same the whole time. And I just noticed that I forgot to update this. All right, so that's all I have for you, I believe. So watch on X tomorrow for the trades early in the morning, and then come check out the Friday video is just a little bit different. Go over whether they won or lost the trades, and then we total everything up and see how much they made per share, so we can get an estimate for the next week's payment. And then we will probably have to come up with a different way using averages, using the IV, something along those lines, because we know they're not going to make enough to pay out. So, all right, that's it. Have a good day. Good luck trading tomorrow.